presentation. Yeah.
That'd be good, so anyone online can hear it.
So my name is Mr. Brendan, and I'm District Testing Coordinator. So I'm going to go over the state test scores for last year and the test that we took this past year. So the students took 4 different tests. They took the Access Test, which is a test for English language learners. They took the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment in Math, ELA, and Science, the Dynamic Learning Maps, and the Starter Strong Assessment. So the first test I'm going to talk about is the Access Test. And the Access Test is for our English language learners. There's 4 sections that students take. There is a listening section, a reading section, and a writing section. And they're put into 6 categories. 1 being the lowest and 6 being the highest. I apologize about my glasses. This year, we had 17 ELL students in 10 different languages, and the highest number of any language is 5. 76% of our students are at Stevenson, and this fall, 75% of our kindergartners speak no English that are in the program. So of the kindergartners in the program, 75% of them speak no English. Writing is the hardest part to learn, and that's the last piece of the puzzle for them. And if students earn a 4.5 on their overall score, they're able to exit the program. And if they exit the program, that's at an 80 to an 85% compared to their English-speaking peers. And last year, we had 8 students exit the program. So up there you can see the different scores that we received. And if you look, there's listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And for the listening part, the students earned a 4, 5, or 6. We have 80% reached that score. In reading, 48% of our students. In speaking, 52% scored a 4, 5, or 6. And then 24% scored that in writing. These next sections, the oral language, comprehension, and literacy, and overall score, they take different components into the play. So the oral language is a combination of their listening and speaking. Literacy is a combination of reading and writing. Comprehension is 70% reading, 30% listening, and their overall score is based on reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So it's kind of everything put together. We also have to report on subgroups of students, and so a subgroup would be any group of students that have 10 or more scores. So we had 10 or more kindergartners last year. So on the screen you can see how our kindergartners did on their score. And once again, the combination of some of the different areas together. And this presentation's on our website, so you have access to it as well. The next assessment is called the Dynamic Learning Maps. And this is an alternate assessment for students with the most significant intellectual disabilities in English language arts, mathematics, and science. So there's very strict criteria for who qualify for this. I'm not going to present any scores because we had less than 10 students participating in the test. But it is a test that we give to our students. The next test is the NJSLA, and this is the test that most students took last spring. It's a test given to students in grades 3 through 6. They take a math test, an ELA test, and 5th graders also take the science assessment. For our students, there's 2 ELA units that they took. Every couple of years, schools have to field test a unit in ELA, and last year our students also field tested a unit. So there are questions that students take they don't count towards your score. It's a way for the state to see if the questions are valid. So our students had to take an extra unit last year. They also took 3 math units, and then 5th graders took 4 science units. This test was not given for the last 2 years because of COVID. So our 3rd graders last year, or 4th graders, and our 5th graders, they never took the NJSLA. The 6th graders who took it, they took it in 3rd grade. So there's a big gap between that. Students are scored on 5 achievement levels, 1 being they did not meet expectations, and then 5 meaning they met. And the state looks for 4s and 5s for passing. That's kind of the threshold. So on the screen, you can see how our students did compared to the state. So the left side is our students in ELA, and the right side is the state. We don't really have anybody else to compare us to. I don't have the setting district scores because the state doesn't provide that for us. So we can only really go off how we compare against the state. And so the green and the yellow are the 4s and the 5s, and they'll be the same for everything. So we outperformed the state in grade 3 by 13%, and we outperformed the state by 7% in grade 4. And in grade 5, we outperformed the state by 26%, and in grade 6, we outperformed the state by 5%. So and this is the same for math, every subject we outperformed. We also have to report in subgroups. So this information is up there for you. Like I said, it's also on the website. So if there's more than 10 students in a subgroup, we report on them. So if you see a grade missing, it's because there were less than 10 students in that subgroup. And overall, we performed very well in each of our subgroups. Here's our math scores. So the same thing on the left is our scores, and on the right is the state scores. Same thing, the yellow and the green, those are the 4s and the 5s. And so in 3rd grade, we outperformed the state by 8%. In grade 4, we outperformed the state by 5%. In grade 5, we outperformed the state by 13%. And in grade 6, we outperformed by 2%. So once again, we outperformed in every grade. And these are the subgroups again. And just like for ELA, each of our subgroups performed well. And our science scores, these are just grade 5 students, so this is just for grade 5, and we outperformed the state by 10%. And in science, there's only 4 levels. It's not 5 like that was. And then the last assessment that I have to share is the Start Strong assessment. And this assessment, the students in grades 4, 5, and 6 took in the fall, so they just took it a couple weeks ago. New Jersey required it this year. They required it last year to meet the federal requirement for the previous the NJSLA. But before that, it was an optional test. So the last couple of years, the state has required that we take this. It assesses the previous year standards. So grade 4 students are being tested on grade 3 standards. It places students in 1 of 3 performance levels. So strong support needed, some support needed, and less support needed. So it gives the teachers and the schools some ideas about where the students fall based on previous year standards and what are some areas that we can focus on. We don't have the state data yet. They'll give it to us. But here's how our students did. In the blue is the less support. The orange is the some support. And the gray is the strong support. And that's our ELA scores.
Can you read the number off? We just can't see.
So less support for ELA in grade 4 is 40%. In grade 5 is 47%. And grade 6 is 49%. That's for less support. So that's the highest level.
Okay. Thank you.
And then for math, grade 4 is 46% less support. In grade 5 is 42%. And in grade 6, it's 40% less support. And then our grade 6 students took the science test because it assesses grade 5 standards, and so 32% need less support for the science. So in December, the school will receive more data on the Start Strong, and then parents will receive reports on how their students did, just like you should have received for the end of SOA a couple weeks ago. You'll get that. We usually get that information in December. And then we'll also get more information about how the state did, how we did, and then so I can update this to kind of reflect that as well. So the school uses a lot of this information to help our instruction. So what we're able to do is, based on the information, we can look at key areas and standards and adjust the way that we teach. It also gives us types of questions that are in the test, so we can make sure that our assessments match the higher level thinking that might be on the state test. On the right there is a sample question that the state releases that our students have to do. So we're able to practice released items. We're going to work on continuing to build stamina for our students because the test can be long, so we'll build up that stamina for our students and identify students in need of some of the support. So that's Start Strong test that the students took. We're able to see what students are in need of strong support and kind of focus on that, and we're able to do that during our DI class or TI classes and those different areas. Any questions?
I'm sorry, I missed this. Did you tell them that it's already on the website?
Yes. Yeah, so it's on our website. On the left side, there should be a state testing tab. If you click on that, it should be posted right there, so you have access to see everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like your first slide, it said 75% of kindergarten speak no English.
So of our ELL students,
Oh, okay.
so there is 75% of those students in the ELL program came in not speaking English.
Okay.
I know I said it, not 75% of our regular students.
Like you're not fluent?
Yeah.
Like I'm not fluent in English.
Any other questions?
I just have a question, and it's kind of related to that. So there are 17 kindergartners that don't speak English?
No. I don't have the exact number, but of the ELL students in kindergarten, 75% of them this year came in not speaking English.
How do they learn?
Or English
So
is their second language. So they might have some English, but English is their second language. So it's not the primary language spoken at home. So they need support in English.
All right, I thought you meant they just don't speak English.
Well, some of them don't. And it's very challenging. Very.
How do kids come to district?
They moved here from a different country. That's how.
They're in kindergarten and they're just getting to school now, they don't speak
Well,
English.
that's why they're in that, so they have an ELL program.
Like I told kindergarten had 7 kids who speak English in the first grade teaching, and you have like a ESL teacher, a yellow teacher that supports the need to train, I don't know how old these people, but.
They will sometimes translate, but it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's not, like.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a challenge. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Berengio.
You gotta put the standard up.
We never know if anybody else.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, so under personnel, certificated staff, recommendation is to approve the following Churchill Club advisors for the 22-23 school year. Under 2, the recommendation is to approve the employment of Samira Haiti as a full-time tenured track special ed teacher for the 22-23 school year as listed. We also are looking to appoint our detention supervisor, Jamie Chafkin, for the 22-23 school year, our home instructor, Lisa McIntosh, for the 22-23 school year, and also to approve the agreement between the Board of Education and the Fairfield Education Association the certified statement of assurance to the NJ Department of Education by the deadline of October 31st. We have a new club approval for Gardening Club at Churchill with Jamie Chafkin as the advisor for the 22-23 school year. For C, I'd like the approval of the attendance for the following workshops. There is a correction for Andrea Goldsmith. It's not November 19th, it's November 29th. So I'd like the minutes to reflect that, as well as the majority of them are through grant money. And that's it for curriculum and program.
Motion?
Mr. Diddick?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, for policy, we're looking to accept and approve the second reading of the following policies. And I also have an addendum that I am walking in. We're looking to approve and affirm the results as reported in the executive session on April 28th of 2022. The 21-22 Stevenson number 3 HIB was not determined as a HIB. And that's it.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Diddick?
Abstain.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Mr. Frieda?
Yes.
Okay, under business finance resolutions, I'm asking the board to approve resolutions A through L on pages 5 through 8, and I'll explain them. The minutes, I'm asking the board as amended, on the minutes that they have before them, the payroll section under, I think it was page 6, payroll, the 2 accounts which changed to include the social security numbers, and that's going to see them crossed out. Bills and claims, approve item B. On the following page 6, the bills and claims are listed on the top of page 6. The transfers, also to approve the capital reserve transfer in the middle for the amount of $22,435 as it relates to some additional expenses for the trailers. The secretary's report for the month of September. The deed notice on the bottom of page 6. The comprehensive maintenance plan and the annual maintenance budget M1 are related. That has to be submitted to the county office. Perfunctory is the bus emergency drills that were done for Churchill and Stevenson School, and an accident claim in the amount of $7,935.70. And we did receive the check today for the $2,935. On page 8, amend the transportation agreement, and this was really a reduction of $10,000. And to approve a gift for a laptop that's being used exclusively for hosting future board meetings at Town Hall, and also a recording device software that was submitted, and we're just waiting for them to install it. So again, resolutions A through L on page 5 through 8.
Motion, discussion?
Second.
Just elaborate a little bit on the deed notice.
The deed notice was basically for the DEP because it was a flood area, so it was a permit, even though they call it deed notice, and the attorney drafted it, and basically we have to prove it to them. Can we go roll call? Mr. Diddick?
Yes.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Mr. Frieda?
Yes. Okay. Any old business? I got a couple of things I just wanted to address in old business. Anybody else on board have any old business? From the last meeting, I just wanted to revisit some of the outstanding questions or comments or concerns. There was one regarding the ceilings and the conditions there are. So we did say that we were going to do an air quality test. That was performed. I believe the results are coming in, not today, they're going to be there tomorrow. So we'll have the results of that air quality test to share. My assumption is no news is good news. It's like going to the doctor. If they don't call you after a few days, you're going to be alive for a little bit longer. The other thing is there was concern, something The demographic study that we said that we did, it's been completed, and it will be discussed at the next board meeting. So we will share that information, but it is done, and we'll have that information for the next board meeting. That's what I have under old business. Anything under new business? Okay. Committee reports? At this point, we'll go ahead and open up the meeting to the public. Public comments on agenda and non-agenda items. What we'll do is continue the format that we've been doing. We come up, if you have any questions, we'll listen to the questions, mark them down. Allow everybody to go through the questions. We'll close out the session, answer them, and then open it back up for any follow-up questions that we have.
Hi, Chrissy Sabelli, 61 Deer Park Road. I just wanted to address an issue that I came across last week as far as safety for our students. I actually emailed Mr. Santana about it last week, and he responded to me immediately. So I really do appreciate that, Mr. Santana. I was driving home across the bridge, and I had 4 kids run out in front of my car right after school. I'm concerned that there's no crossing guards or people crossing them. There's that dangerous ramp coming off of 46 where you just have to yield. Basically everybody, including myself, I'm not gonna lie, look to the left. Anyone coming? No one's coming, great. And we gun it. And there's kids walking from the right. So my concern is, I had to jam on my brakes. I was going over the bridge. 2 kids, as I was at the top of the bridge, ran out as the light was green to go across to Walgreens. And then there were 2 behind them that ran out, and I had to hit my brakes as the light was green. So I'm just concerned. I mean, my child doesn't walk, but I'm concerned about the other kids in town. God forbid, God forbid, God forbid anything were to happen to them, it would break my heart. But also, I understand, I don't know how many kids actually walk home from school, so I don't know what the feasibility is of providing crossing guards, but maybe communication with the police and having them present during dismissal over on the bridge, because that's like a major area of concern. So that's just my issue that I want to just bring forth to your attention, okay? Thank you so much.
Anybody else? All right, we'll close out that portion. Susan, any comments regarding that, or is there something that you want to follow up on? Okay. We'll definitely, I know Mr. Santana responded back, and we'll follow up on that in the regular team, and then, of course, old business next meeting. We'll have some comments regarding that. Okay.
Pat, before you close, I just want to touch, I'm sorry, I should have brought this up on the whole business. We spoke briefly in the past about a community outreach. So I've been in touch with Nicole once, or twice, kind of playing phone tag. But as of now, I have 3 members that are interested, and from there, what we plan on doing is this week reaching out to those 3 and maybe having them recommend 1 more, rounding off the committee between 6 to 10, and then we'll present the committee at a meeting, moving forward, and then what exactly they'll be doing in regards to working hand in hand with the Board of Education to get some key issues and points out to the general community. So, and I just wanted to touch base that I know initially when I spoke with Nicole, she said I have a group of girls or dads, moms and dads that want to take part. We're going to select a handful and then go from there, add on. So it's not like it's a group that's just presenting itself and says, hey, I want to do this. We're going to, speak internally and pick the people that I think would, that are present first and foremost at the meetings, that would want to be involved, and we'll go from there. So I don't know if you have any questions in regard to that, but there's a couple of you in the audience right
status? Is the board pleased with the kind of the progress? And have there been any new developments in terms of what the plan is going forward? Thank you.
Any other questions? No, we can follow this.
Kristen Andero, 93 Glenmire Road, and I mentioned the email about the trailers. My daughter's also in Churchill and did not receive any email regarding the trailer. She's in 3rd grade.
I believe the email went out to the fifth grade parents.
Can you give us an update on?
We will
Yeah.
follow.
Okay.
All right, Susan, no, but allow you to picture out the which just, we'll just read her email.
It was. So we are on point with the timeline, so we're looking to start moving everybody in by next week. But we are waiting, the biggest thing is that we have to get the certificate of occupancy. So once we get that, which we are on schedule to get by the end of the week, so we can try to move in next week.
With that said, be resolved that the next meeting will be held here, November 15th, 2022, at 7:30 with a 6:30 executive session. If that was to change due to